So we have our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes, joining us now here. Look, this is a huge deal because these public defenders, it means, you may not have the money to pay for an attorney, but people are putting their livelihoods in the hands of these public defenders. So if there's not enough, they may not have time to go through the cases the way they need to.
And it's not just public defenders. What public defender appointed Kevin Tully is saying right there is we have public defenders, but we also have folks that are private attorneys that take public defender cases that the public defender's office can't handle.
Yeah.
And so there's two pots. You have the public defenders that work for his office. You have private attorneys that get on something called a list. And then if your name's on the list, they just pull your name out that hat. So he's talking about folks that are on this list that's dwindling down. His office is also suffering shortages, just like the prosecutor's office is suffering shortages. That's a different case. The prosecutor's office, folks go there, they get their experience, trial practice, get that fast pace, and they go out there and either private practice or go work for a big firm. But in his situation, it's totally different. Those folks specifically on this list, if you're in a retained practice, if you have your own practice and it's flowing, are you waiting and begging to get your money from the state? Most of them opted to not do that. But if you're asking the original question, which is this important? I think we have to look at Gideon versus Wainwright. You've talked about it a number of times in the past, how the courts have said that you are required, we're absolutely fundamentally required to get right to a counsel in a criminal case. I mean, I'll read the court's opinion. Lawyers in criminal courts are necessary, not luxuries. The right of one charged with crime to counsel may not be deemed fundamental and essential to fair trials in some country, but it is in ours. I mean, that's 1963. It's remained the same, but how we fund that, how we decide to put money behind what the court said is required is a totally different process.
All right, so the famous quote from Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come, right? We just heard there's not enough resources. What do we need to put in the pot? What resources need to be put there as a foundation so that public defenders, there will be more applicants and there will be resources to fund that?
It could be Bitcoin, gold, or cash. I think most attorneys would prefer cash.
They don't discriminate.
If you're looking at it from a realistic perspective, they had a committee said how much they would need. $12 million was the number that they came back with. The state gave $8 million. Just like any type of state budgeting process, you ask for a number, they're going to figure out a way to cut that down and see if you can still be efficiently working with the numbers that you get. But this is not just a problem in Mecklenburg County. This is across the country, and even if we bring home to our state, across our state, I look at the report and they talk about these dry zones where you have public defender's office that are just not even available. So you have counties where people can go to court and they are just only getting these retained attorneys that are using public defender dollars. And so if everyone is attempting to pull from that pot, it does dwindle quick. You put that with COVID, where we had this backlog of cases, and then you had an influx of cases right after COVID. And so now you have a ton of folks that are needing assistance, and you have a need that's there, so the demand is there, but the supply is dwindling. And so they're always asking for donations.
Right.
They're asking for the state, those to support the system that is required. Because what Gideon versus Wainwright did not say is how you fund it. It didn't say the amount of money that's required to make sure it's efficient. It just says you need it, and then they said go figure it out, states, on your own.
Khalif, this question just came to me. I mean, we've seen the public defenders and people appointed to be public defenders come in with these huge stacks and go through cases and cases and cases. And obviously, we know the funding issues there. Is the system broken?
I'd say it has flaws. It's definitely, we put a Band-Aid approach on it. I did my internship my last year of law school in the public defender's office in Fulton County. And I remember my direct supervisor, who was the public defender at the time, said, look, if you're doing these cases, you have to have a love for it. And so these are people that, because the public perceives that these folks are something inferior type of attorney. Right. And I don't want a public defender, I want a lawyer. And it's like I'd always tell folks, because of my experience there, I work with folks that were Harvard graduates, people that had PhDs, that were medical doctors that decided to go back to law school. Some of the most brilliant people on the planet work for the public defender's office, but they just, they want to work in a system that is already cut out for them, that they don't have to go out and find clients, but they can say a client is given to me and I'll be able to tackle every case that comes before me. But yes, the overload is there. If you're looking at someone that's trying to do 200, 300 cases in a year, or you got a retained attorney that's only doing the 5 or 10 that they want, then obviously you have a time management ability that is different. However, the quality of service is always going to be there. It's just you can't do more with less. And that more with less is not just, predicated on the public defender's office. It's anything with government where you're saying we're stretching dollars, we're stretching taxpayers' dollars and trying to get the most out of it that we can. But when you're in a situation like this, sometimes the most out of it is you just need more people. You need more bodies on that battlefield fighting that battle.